Hello again with yet another 6-spot trick, and this time we have the very long, very interesting 8844, 864, 88446. And what I really like about this trick, beside the fact that it's the longest period 6-spot sideswap that I've done in the entire challenge, is the fact that this was a request by Daniel Lozozowski. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. If not, then feel free to roast me. And the cool thing about it was that I got the request, I went out to practice, I got to 100 catches within a few hours of trying, and posted the request on the same day that I received it. And that was such a cool moment. I really enjoyed learning this trick and figuring out how to run such a long sideswap. And whenever you try to approach a trick with such a long sequence of numbers, the first thing you always want to do is try to find out the structure of the trick. I've said this a couple of times before, but as soon as you realize what's going on in the pattern, that's when you really understand it, and that's when you're able to crack the pattern down and run it for longer. And when I looked at this trick from a structural standpoint, the first thing that I immediately noticed was the fact that the sixes always stay the same ball. And as soon as I realized that, the rest of it came pretty natural to me. Because all I really needed to pay attention to while I was running the sideswap was to make sure that the 6 is always thrown as a 6. And if I focused on doing that, then I could also be sure that I didn't lose the sequence of the trick. But despite that, of course, there were some times where I was running the trick, and after a couple of rounds I suddenly made some wrong throws and went into like 8844 for a few rounds without realizing it. Because it's quite easy to get lost and confused with such long and similar patterns. But it was definitely a very fun experience to try and memorize such a long sequence as quickly as possible. So that's also something that I really enjoy doing with Siteswap. Just coming up with ridiculously complex tricks and trying to figure out what's really going on. And another thing that I just really now notice is that when you run this trick, then basically both sides of the pattern stay separate from each other. There's no throw that goes from one hand to the other hand. And I think looking back at it now, that also helped me to focus. Because my right hand really only needed to throw 8-4, 8-4, 8-4 all the time. And my left hand only needed to throw 8-4-6, 8-4-6, 8-4-6. So that broke this complex pattern down to a more manageable pattern. And I'm just really now realizing it now that I look back at the trick and try to analyze it a little bit. That's fun. Well, what else is there to say? Thank you a lot for the request, Daniel. I really enjoyed it. And I hope everyone that's watching this video is having a good day. That's it from me. Goodbye.